Hello, welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Lauren,
And I'm Ian.
and we are back from our bicycling trip around the coast of Ontario.
That's right.
Tour de Niagara. It was a great time. We covered 430 kilometers over 4 days. We hope to release some shorts about it. We're going to look beautiful in our shorts, nice and sweaty.
Nice
so
sweaty,
stay tuned
nice sunscreen
for that. So now that we're back in action after a week off, we are still kind of in recovery mode a little bit, so we are going to recap the skills that we worked on for the past couple of weeks, including our get-up, our two-handed swings, our single-handed swings, our cleans, and our presses. So we have lots today, and then we'll continue building on those skills next week. Let's get started with the kettlebell off to the side, but first, a body weight warm-up.
Sounds good, Lauren. Thank you very much. We'll start with the head neck, so stand in a comfortable position for you. This is similar to my squat stance. And then at the head neck, start with our extension and flexion of the head neck. Flexion is chin towards the sternum. Extension, chin towards the ceiling. Can you keep looking on the horizon as you do that again? Keep looking straight ahead as you go down, and straight ahead as you extend to up. Reset the crown of the head high, pulling like up on marionette strings, and then with the nose facing forward, go ear to shoulder, and then ear to shoulder on the other side. Keep the head facing forward as to avoid the rotation or the no action, and here, pivot, or at least rotate in your imagination on that nose. But now we'll get to the no vibe, which is a little bit of a rotation, so looking over the shoulder, through center, always getting tall, looking the other way, and just sets of 2 as we go through this. We do these movements again as we do one last time to the other side to check in. We're using those movements in bigger positions like a get up and a press. Make sure they feel okay right now. Let's do the same thing that we did for the head neck through the rib cage. But first, we'll go sideways. So shoulder blade squeeze and just a little sideways bend. Imagine pouring a teapot and you wouldn't move the cup nor the teapot truly. So here, you want to keep it. Well, you tip it, but you don't move it. So stay rib cage over the hips, and then finish in center one more time. Flexion, extension, forward and back. So moderate chin tuck. You might look down on the ground this time as you now flex through the rib cage or forward, and then pull down on the abs to extend up. Repeat one more time. Easy does it down. I know we'll review some core planks in a second, and find those abs or the shield as you pull down to extend. Lastly, let's rotate, but we'll segment the head and then the body. So rotate the head to the side of your choice. I chose my left. Then rotate the upper body the same way. Then go head to center and let that rib cage fall. Alternate the other side. Head rotate, torso to move, return the head to center, those rib cages follow. But this time for one more, let's move the head and the rib cage at the same time. And then through center, and one last time, head, shoulders and ribs, return to center. Let's squat just once, and then Lauren will take it over from the rest of the low body warm up. So pull ourselves down into your safe squat, and just with the hands on the hips, or the hands in the prayer position there, just do a little bit of a hula hoop circle. Nothing so urgent here, but try to avoid huge hip hikes, and instead just find nice circular grooves, moving the hips around those femur bones. Take it over.
Excellent. Let's do a quick lunge to get to the floor. And by quick, I mean not so quick. So take a single leg, step it back like you're doing your get up. In this position, let's practice our high. So we're on our back toe, both hips are square forward, and our shin is staying vertical. Now, staying here, could we find a balance on that front demi-point? Try to keep that ankle sucked in line. Then heel will come down. Next, pull the floor together and let's find mid-station. Imagine I have a hot poker on that knee and you want to keep that hip or femur pulled in. Same thing, find that demi-point rise and then down. Let's find a little lower, hovering off the floor, still stay square, feel that tension, rise, heel down, knee finds the floor. Next, we'll heel toe, we'll heel toe that leg open to the side in the position you would have it in your get-up. So hips are still square to the forward, knee is only as side as you can with your toe in line. Same arm, cross the body. Going back to revisit those rotations. Your head will rotate to that side leg, your upper body will follow. Next, like the get up, you would hinge, pushing your hips back, hand finds the floor. Pull yourself so you stack your shoulders over top of each other. Next, head will look at the hand on the floor, and then the shoulders will rotate, or rib cage will rotate towards the floor. Keep that knee to the side. Take a little breath. Try to rotate a little more closed. Then head will open, upper body will open. Floor will press away. Head to center, shoulders to center. Heel toe that foot, back to where you got it. Now we were pulling yourself down as we descended. To stand up, think about pushing the floor forward and back. Could you do that and get to that hover position? Then come back down. Then engage that press, 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 to top. Excellent. Let's repeat on the other leg. Other leg steps back. Square to the front of the room. We're in this tall place first, so up on that back toe, let's find that front foot balance, and then heel will come down. Pull the floor together, feel that front femur pull in, back hip push forward mid-station. Find the rise, heel down. Find the hover position just off the floor. Front foot rise, heel descend, last connector pull together. Great, stay here for a second, just extending that back hip, trying to find level. Then we'll heel toe the foot open to the side. And in that side place, arm you can touch with leg, cross body, blades together. Head to that side, upper body rotation. Hinge on the hips, so you'll see Ian's here, push back towards the wall. The hand will find the floor, and then you might shift forward to stack again. Next, head looks at the hand on the floor, and shoulders square up, breathing. That hinge and re-strap is important in our get-up. We don't want to land on that wrist hard. Head opens up, shoulders open up. Flick the floor away. Head to center, shoulders to center, square up that front foot. Feel the change in vectors, push forward and back to your hover position, and then back to the ground. And then again, forward and back, zoom, to top. Give it a little shake. I'd like to warm up our wrists really quick before we get into our get-ups because I feel like that's very important. So let's use our hip hinge because we're going to be swinging today. Hinge, shins are vertical. Are all 10 toes heavy on the floor, or 11, depends on how many you have. Are all of your toes on the floor? Breathe. Reach towards the ceiling with that tailbone for a couple seconds, and then we'll tip forward. Try to find your fingers first, all 8, callus line, and then full palms come down, shoulders packed, elbows nice and straight. Let's just pull ourselves into some wrist extensions, so shoulders over top of fingertips, and press yourself back. Do that 2 more times. Let's try to keep our tailbone tipped towards the ceiling as we do this. Not too much to create that huge arch back, but just lightly like you're in your squat position. And one last time. This time we'll press the floor away, flick. One more rotation, full 180 degrees of those hands. Fingertips will come down first, and then palms. We have those shoulders up the ears again, elbows nice and straight, sitting back. Thumbs connected, pinkies connected, index, middle, ring, all touching the floor as you sit back. Then gently try to bend those elbows, but keep the palms heavy. And then you can continue bending, but allow the palms to peel away from the floor. Let's do one ankle squat to finish up our nice warm up here, and then we'll be standing. From here, hips will extend, toes will tuck. With or without your hands, let's rock back to that low squat. Let's stay on our toes. Push to a balance, hold, squeeze your cheeks, pull your kneecaps up, keep your knees straight as your heels come down. Give that a little shake, and then
one more move before we pick up that kettlebell. Let's just take time to address those shoulders. Start with your fingers down to the ground with your palms facing forward. Low effort, shrug your shoulders. Save that move for our bodyweight practice, for our handstand. Our kettlebell practice, shoulders are worn down. With the shoulder blades low, make fists. Then bend on the wrist to have the knuckles forward. Follow that bend with a bend on the elbow, and take a second here. Take a light moment and have your knuckles face one another. That's a hold like in a goblet hold, but today our more useful hold would be pinkies, knuckles towards the sky. Pull your armpits down and have your elbow tips go towards forward, and then reset elbows towards the rib cage. Initiate with the fingers pointing to the back wall, then the wrists follow, extending there, then we extend on the elbow. Pull the shoulders together, and extend the shoulders, meaning reach the hands towards one another out the back. Then make fists with the fingers, then bend on the wrists again like a gooseneck, and follow the bending action to the elbow. Take a second, are those knuckles facing the ceiling? Now pull the elbows down, have the elbows point forward, open your fingertips to the wall behind you, then extend on the wrist. Like our kettlebell swing, we'll pull those shoulders together when the arms are out front, and return down low. We'll save that overhead movements just for a second, warming that up in our get up. First, let's get our loaded kettlebell carries here to get familiar with your load. Light, medium, heavy, or even pretend. It starts with a one-arm carry here in a low position with the preload. We set up Warren's hinge. I'm gripping with my right hand. My left hand is cuddling or cupping it close. Preload, feel the weight in the feet, in the hands, and on the core, and hold in a static position for 5 more seconds. How does that feel today?
Squeeze your butt.
Squeeze your butts, brace your core. What are those cues, Lauren? Thank you for sharing. And return to the floor. Barehanded up, quick reset, same thing other side. It's a hip hinge, a firm grip, a preload, a lift. Assemble your feet together. The narrower base, the tougher, but also the wider base. So find that place that's just for you. It might be that place that we press from later. Then open your hinge, return to the floor, and come up barehanded. Lauren will go through the next carry in just a second, but a quick 10-second squat here. Just come on down, open up those hips again. Let's prioritize our upper body being nice and tall, shoulders back, maintain your breath and composure, and then a breath in, and up, hiya, up. I shake and wiggle. What's that next carry, Lauren?
Were you thinking goblet or rack?
Yeah, goblet.
Okay, let's hold our goblet position. We have lots of racks positions coming your way later. Standing over top of your bell with your bell parallel with whatever direction this is.
Perpendicular.
Flat. Hinge on your hips. 2 hands grip the top of the bell. Pull, regrip down the corners. Shoulders packed. Elbows in tight. Butt cheeks squeezed. I imagine I'm at the top of my chin up here. My lats are engaged. If we want to add on, could you look through the window of the bell and then pull it back to collarbone? And one more time, it's not resting on my body. I'm looking through, not creating my neck. Bring it back down. Hip hinge. Soft landing. Up with that. Give that a little shake. Let's come back down into that squat, and then we'll get into our get-ups here. Into our squat position again. Pull. Feel yourself pulling the floor together. Those adductors as you pull yourself down. Now then stay down here. Continue pulling your feet together kind of in this V angle. Pull. Now don't go anywhere and push down and out on the floor. And that floor should feel like it's going to send you up. Let's repeat again. Pull together. That probably sinks you a little lower. Then push down in a way so much so you stand up tall. Those forces are all around us. Make sure you use them for practice. Let's come down to the floor and do our first get up today. We're going to be doing a get up each side, left, right, or right, left. And then followed by a review of some kettlebell swing skills. So no rules, come down to the floor. Actually, there's a rule, try not to use your hands.
Ooh, no hands on the downs and ups, all right?
Pick a side, whether again it's with a light kettlebell, medium, heavy, body weight, whatever it may be. Rolling to your kettlebell cup, rolling to your back, and pressing. Next, use that hip drive to pull to the elbow. Find your hand. As we stay looking at our bell, we'll lift our hips and sweep our leg underneath. Pushing the floor away. We'll square up to that lunge and remember the vector forces as we press back up. Same thing on the way down, we pull the floor together. Front foot. It's back to that rotation and hinge as we practice in our warm-up stack. Sweep. Elbow. Nice straight spine to your back. 2 hands pull down. Return to that pedal position. If that get-up is new to you, please feel free to do it body weight. Take your time. Go a little slower.
Go through those basics videos.
Yes. All right, same thing on that second side. Cut up, roll, press. Arms heavy on the floor, leg heavy as you push and pull. Find your elbow. Next is that bridge and sweep. Our back toes are already tucked. So when we move our front foot into that lunge position, we can use the back foot to stand. Again, we pull ourselves down. step, rotate, hinge, sweeping through, finding the elbow, strong proud shoulders, you press away to your back. We'll pull that bell down, return to the cuddle, and as usual, try to stand up with no
No
hands.
hands. Oh. And we're here. And Laura and I will be using the same kettlebell for our get-ups as we will for our swings. We have body weight versions, we have kettlebell deadlift versions, and then we have the swing. Laura will be doing 3 repetitions of our hike pass. Take the bell from out front, pull it to your zipper, and return it up front. Powerful back, soft return, last repetition, and then park. From that, we're going to our stop swings, also for 3, and then a park, and that last time here, and park. Your turn, my turn, set, I go, you go. So here we go, as Lauren describes.
So tee me in here for 3 hike passes. Engaging your lats, pulling the bell towards that zipper of your pants or groin. Then, this time 3 full swings with a park in between. We're thinking about a couple things here. We're loading up our hips. We're bracing our core at the top, and the blades are retracted, arms at chest height, nice straight elbows. We'll put that together, and now we'll do a set of 5 continuous 2-handed swings.
A couple weeks ago, Lauren called me out for my bent elbows, so I'm glad she mentioned that there. We're stiff like that board and strong like that plank as you swing for 5. Park it, come up barehanded, then you go, the we go, let's do it again.
Tee me in here for 5. So you're following one of us. No need to do more reps than needed. Let's be efficient here. Nice, strong, straight elbows. Ooh, reps. We'll come back down to the floor and repeat our get-ups again.
Not
Simple.
those get-ups. I went down on one leg, up on the other, so we'll try to switch it up. Find parity, find performance on both sides, and here we go, doing our get-up. It starts cuddle, cuddle roll, the firing range press, drive the hip, pushing off the leg with the elbow, followed by our tall sit, our sweep, press the floor away, knuckles face the ceiling as we tall stand, and pull yourself down like Lauren Cute in the lunge, open, windmill, sweep a leg, find the elbow, turn to the back, 2 hands down, take a breath, a sigh of relief for just a nice little sound to say that was work, but it feels okay. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So shoulder pack with a firm grip, we roll, and our 2-handed press. Set up your get-up stance, push through the foot, squish your butt to get to the tall sit, bridge high, sweeping the leg. Push the floor away, square up the lunge. We're at our tall stand now, and we'll come back down. Windmill, favorite move right there. Find the floor with the hand, and then sweep. Find the elbow to your back. 2 hands on, pull it down the body, return to the cuddle, and then up. No rules, or no hands at least, says Lauren.
All right, we did our 2-handed swing breakdown last time. We're now going to perform our single arm swing. So Ian will start here with 1 arm. Let's do 3, it's a good number. 3 hike passes with a single arm followed by 3 stop swings on that arm. Again, we're pulling the belly zipper, staying the same height. Now this time, pull, swing, through, full stop. Repeat 2 more times. Ramrod straight, abs braced. Strong exhale. Good. I will do the same thing.
No matter what we're doing in the studio here, many of our students say they feel it here, which is that core. If you feel this exercise in your core and your abs, the powerhouse of the body, you're doing it really well. Lauren's got 1 more repetition here for that stop swing. After the park, it's our turn to go again on your alternate side.
As you're doing this, you're thinking of a couple of things. Again, those feet are rooted into the floor. You have that deep hinge, so you're loading up the glutes, as well as that core brace the whole time. That off arm is also swinging with you through that whole motion. It's like it's doing a swing, it just isn't holding a kettlebell. And it's not going in between your legs. Bring it to the outside there. And park.
And park. Grip with those toes, my toes lit up by the end. So here, Lauren and your team, we're doing 3 repetitions of the hike to the groin and the park. Follow the hike with our stop swings, also for 3. This is rep number 2, so one more time. Breath, power, and park. To finish this set, we'll be doing 5 repetitions of one-arm swings in a continuous fashion, each side.
All right, team Ian's first here, first arm, 5 continuous swings. Again, blades retract to the top. We're swinging to that chest height. The off arm is coming with you, so never swing. If you forget about that off arm, coming to the rack position, tap the bell out front each time. So if you forget, tap, tap, good. 3 more, ram out straight, could punch you in the stomach, could punch you in the butt, and it's your abs stopping you at the top, not your back.
Your low back, that's right. It's the glutes and abs, meeting in the middle. So for 5 continuous one-arm swings, other versions of this could include just our body weight group. Work on that timing, work on your conditioning, as I'm short of breath here, as we're working on the one-arm swing here. So Team Lauren, 5 reps, maybe 2 more. Follow that with our efficient park, and then one more set of get-ups before we explore one more swing variation today.
One more set of get-ups. So let's get down to the floor again. Maybe try something different, but no hands. And, yeah, sound effects included. Cuddle. Here we go. Nice smooth get-up each side. Roll, press. To the elbow, heavy leg. To the hand. A bridge sweep, back toes tucked. Front foot moves to your lunge. Push into the floor. Pulling yourself down. Open front leg. Rotation and hinge. Stack sweep. Elbow, nice strong spine and core as you press away. 2 hands, cuddle. Take a second, catch your breath as needed. Or repeat that same pace on the other side. Starting again, you know where, in the cuddle. Roll and press. Hip drive, elbow. Hand. Bridge sweep. Press the floor away, square it up, stand it up, pull it, back down, front foot, rotate hinge, sweep, elbow push away from that elbow, 2 hands to your back, 2 hands to the floor. Last time standing up with no hands, well maybe,
We do tell some white lies here and there. So some get-ups maybe to follow at the very end again today. But going back a couple weeks again, working on the swings, the one-arm swings to cleans. Team Lauren, either follow along or listen to me and we'll do it all together. We're taking the bell, parallel handle with the feet, one hand on, grip it in that single arm rack position, return to the floor. The preload is so important here. Do you feel how heavy your bell is before it starts to move? Load your muscle groups for success. After 3 repetitions of the dead stop, let's hike it and do the same into that clean position and return to the floor. It stays tight to the body as it drops to the hips and returns to the floor. One more for that side for Team Lauren, and then Team Us or Team Blue and Green on the bottom will go next.
All right, so first you're ready over top of that bell. This drill cues how much hip drive you need as you clean this bell. I say do up your winter coat on the way up and undo it on the way down. Keep it nice and tight to the body. You definitely need a firm grip on the bell because you don't want to let it go, but you need a loose grip in order to punch through. Next, pull, clean, through, and park. A clean is a swing that ends in that rack position. So we're using the hips to drop it through. Again, we're punching through the bell to end up with that vertical forearm, and then parking with control. Take a little break, Team Ian. We'll go the other side.
3s and 3s of each variation. So the bell is standing right or placed right underneath of your standing hips, and it returns to the same position. As if there's that wall in front of you, the bell is zipping straight up Lauren's body and returning to the floor. Put it out front or step back, hike, end up in that same position. Out the back, the kettlebell is above the knees and below the butt, and out front, it's never out in front of that wall, rather protecting that glass that's in front of you throughout the kettlebell clean.
If you have a wall you don't care about, you could stand in front of it. If you care about it, be very careful. Zip, and then tight on the way down. Use those hips to push the bell through. It's not your biceps here, it's your butt cheeks, the other V word. Good, and then down. We'll step back, pull, clean, through, and park. Hips drag the bell up, you punch through, and then control it down. At the top, check in with the little details. Is your wrist nice and straight and strong? I don't want you to be catching it with this broken wrist. We can imagine where that's going. So keep that nice and strong.
A little more graceful in the park the next time there. As you finish off this section of the practice, we're looking for continuous cleans now from the ground to the rack, back to the hike pass and rack. Up to five repetitions here. Finish with power, finish strong. If it's starting to get slow, be done, or maybe grab a lighter weight.
So again, even though we're cleaning, keeping that bell tight to the body, tight to the zipper, and using the hips. Toes are heavy on the floor. Sometimes they get a little bit goofy in this, and they like to pick up off the floor, so root them. Punch through that bell. Light but firm grip. I know. Simple, not easy. We like all those same but different words.
You got it. So Lauren's team is going that second side for up to 5. And again, it's a firm grip when it's in that hike pass, that transition of doing up your coat. Let the kettlebell float before you re-grip it. Last 1 or 2, finish strong, park it. I go, you go. Now it's our turn.
Last couple things to think about. Both hips come through with you on this. And as well, try to catch it like you're strong like a tree. So try not to let it pull you back and have to rebound. Strong like tree, catch. Strong like tree, good. I like to think of myself like a tree if you didn't catch that analogy. All right, we're going into some pressing now.
Presses.
We're going to press each arm, followed by Ian's really awesome single leg squat additions. So today's presses, I have it's called a moderate bell for me. I'm going to enjoy pressing it 3, 4, 5, 4, 3 times.
That sounds lovely.
Okay?
Sounds good.
So, standing over top of our bell, you choose your reps. That was a total of 5 rounds we're going to hopefully get through. You pick your reps. Depends on what you're using. Heavier bell, maybe less reps. Lighter bell, higher reps, but you have to get them all. Either with a cheek clean, 2-handed, 1 hand, and let's get that bell to the rack position and start pressing. Cheek squeezed, arms raised. Vertical forearm, nice straight wrist, and that off arm tension as you're pressing. Park with control. Give it a little shake. Remember, pressing, like everything else if you do this kettlebell, is whole body. Feet, quads, cheeks, abs. Same thing, second side. Cheek clean, and same number. 1, feet, quads, 2, butt cheeks, abs. Face is happy. Park. You're not happy, just neutral.
It's hard to do all that at the same time. You might be going quick switches, oh feet, oh glutes, oh kneecaps, but do it all at the same time for efficiency and safety in your press. Lauren alluded to those single leg squats, so make sure the kettlebell you're using is going to be just off to the side, and then just pull up into our baby flamingo stance here, where your big toe of an elevated leg nestles just on that little ankle nook on the standing leg. Use your balancing if you need, and stay right here if this is a big challenge. From there, we have our tailbone tip like a little bit of a cow, and we're getting low. We're just going to hang out here for 5, 4, deal with some of that balance and instability, and then press the hip through. Set to 2 here for this. Let's do it again. Knees face forward, avoid the daylight between those knees. Hang out in your safe low with a full foot, tailbone like cow, and then push through, finish tall. Stand on 2 feet, maybe enjoy a little shake. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Hold it for a couple seconds. That toe tip of the elevated leg just nestles nicely on that inner ankle bone. The tailbone tips like a cow. Nicely nestled on that medial malleolus. You got it. Hanging out in your low. Then press through. Squeeze your butt cheeks, pull up those kneecaps, and breathe. And one more time. Tailbone tips like a cow, just like it would in your squat. Hang out low for 3, 2, and then press through tall. Finish 2 feet. Shake, reset, and move forward.
Now, because they're burning, you'll know to use your quads. So let's use them as well as our cheeks. I'm adding a rep, going up to number 4s. You pick. First side, over top, cheek clean, hook up. Inhale down, to tall. Good. Control back to the rack position. Place down. That breath is very challenging, but important on our press. If you're home alone or not, you're the one doing the workout. Use a little bit of to get that bell out of the rack position. It's not a sound just to make a sound. It's a sound. So use this core as you out of that rack. Here we go. Same number. Inhale. 1. Inhale down. 2. 3. 4. Good. Whew. Whew.
Lauren and I are using our lighter bells as we are still recovering from our big ride. However, we're still learning lots and refining what we do with our heavier bells with your light. Take the same time, be diligent with your practice, use your bell, but make sure that you're always thinking about Lauren's cues, squeezing your bum cheek, bracing the ground,
Bracing the ground.
and being
Brace
like a
that
tree.
ground.
Brace the ground. Okay, let's do the same thing as before, but adding on. So pull up, hold the balance, stay here if that's for you. Let's get to ourselves in our real position, and then, keeping the hips level, lift the elevated leg higher, and then push through, finish tall. One more time, just keep it in that mid-calf position and sit back in your low squat. Keep your hip low, but lift your knee high and push through. Finish tall, then 2 feet, shake and wiggle. Calves burning, quads burning. Shake and wiggle, I saw that. Let's do it again. Hold your balance. Start at the ankle, knee over toe, sit squat. Keep the hip low, but lift the leg or femur high. Then push through, finishing tall. Keep the foot at the mid-calf. We'll descend one more time in that squat. Lift it up a millimeter more, even if it's in your imagination. Then tall stand. Finish 2 feet. Shake, wiggle. This set is the most that we're doing with this kettlebell here at 5 for us.
Peak of the pyramid here. Again, you're picking your number, you're being successful, a little challenging, but always finishing them strong. First side. 1. 2, use that breath. Use the cheeks, use the core, use all of that tension. I think I counted my way back to breath, I'm not sure. Whew. Take a second off. The little shake wiggle. We want tension in those muscles, but we also want that relaxation. Wiggle it up. Stay loose. Same thing, second side. 1, inhale down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Whew. Breathing, taking a second off. Nice presses. How'd they go? Let us know. Chit chat, email, comment later.
You know.
Tell us how it was.
A little active rest here as we are doing those sets of presses, coordinating, a little bit of time off with a little bit of work for those legs. Let's come back. We're in our baby flamingo. Then sit in your squat. Straighten the leg out front, either your ballet or karate foot. Then return it underneath and finish nice and tall. Repeating for 2, perhaps using your balance aid at your side. Again, knee over toe. Straighten the leg and hold. Then pull under, push through like it's easy. Hope it's not. It's not for us at least. And here we are doing 2 again. Clear your space. Make sure your surroundings are safe. And we'll pull ourselves down in our squat. Safe flow as you get. Karate foot, ballet foot. Bring it under and push through. One more time. Knee over toe. Straighten out that leg. Then pull and push. Finish. 2 more sets. We've gone all the way up to 5.
We're on our way back down. So we're taking off the rep wall. We are, in your choice, coming back down for 4 reps here. Still keeping that strong rack position and feet rooted. Here we go, first step. Inhale to pull. 1, 2 more. 3, that off arm, cheeks, butts, abs, heart with control. Placing down, picking up and placing down that bell is a very important part of your press. Make sure you take your time when you pick it up. Get everything just right. If it's not right, reset, try it again. Here we go, second side. 4, 1, we're inhaling down, cheeks on the way up. 2, all 10 toes down. 3, 4, nice. We've talked about that core being a little bit like a big, thick spring. So when you're putting that bell down, you're loading that spring up and then whoop, shoot that bell off of that spring. It's not a slinky.
Nope.
It's more like that spring you see under the car by the wheels. I don't know what kind of spring it is.
Shock.
Oh, shock. Yeah, shock. It's really thick. That's what I picture it as.
Your core is capable of taking immense loads, but it does take training.
You don't want a slinky.
No.
At least when you press.
No waves. Body rolls and waves are fun though.
Saturday.
Join us there for Saturday, Lauren. Okay, here we go. Let's get our single leg squatting back. Follow along as you wish, or just hang out in your standing flamingo. Here we go. We're going to put it all together as safe and strong as you can get. 1 repetition, single leg squat. Take your time. Coming down, hang out, and full stand. Let's switch. Clear your space again, making sure always leg out front. Take your time getting down. Harder to go slower. That's a lot of work. We'll finish tall. Come back on Saturday, as we said, and we'll play with our strength and work on our single leg squats again. But until then, this is our last set of press. How many, Lauren?
Slink.
3.
3 presses. Last set. Strong. Finish with success. Here we go. Hinge, set up proper. 1. Inhale down. 2. Think of the shock abs. 3. Bell comes down. Parks. Wipe your brow. Give a little shake. Same thing.
1 last set.
Second side. Hinge. Grip. Rack. 1. 2. 3. Nice. Parking that bell. I'm just gonna put. No, I'm not gonna put mine that far away.
We're still going to use it. Lauren, does it feel like you could have more presses?
Definitely.
Great. And that's a great place to be in today's practice. Save some, stay powerful, set yourself up for success. Then next time. Does it also feel like you can do more swings?
Definitely.
Excellent. Well, let's take advantage of that, and we'll take over the last moments of our practice here, reviewing all 3 of the swing variations: the 2-hand, the 1 arm, as well as the clean.
Well, we'll follow that I go, you go pattern. So, Ian.
Okay, we'll go first.
5 2-handed swings. So if you're going with Ian, we're resting right now. If you're following with me, we'll go through. You know what I mean. Ian, 5 2-handed continuous swings. Shoulders are packed at the back. Abs are braced at the top. That exhale matches the hips. In this, our shock is pretty tight.
Pretty tight the whole time. The feet push out the whole time. The feet push out a lot on the way back with the kettlebell falling down, and then incredibly more on the way back up. That is our 2-hand swing. From 2-hand swings, we can go to 1 hand or 1 arm. What do you like to call them? We can go back and forth.
Team Ian here, single arm swings, I guess that's what I call them. Single arm swings, that shoulder is packed right from the time you pick up that bell. That off arm is coming with you. At the top, it's that same ramrod straight position. Park the bell with control. Team Lauren.
We'll switch sides here. And again, it's that 1 arm swing. And feel free to use your 2 hands if you're not quite comfortable yet using your 1. Shadow with your body weight, or just keep your reps nice and low and stay powerful and strong through it.
Excellent. Remember all the cues: feet heavy, both hips coming through, ramrod straight elbow at the top, shoulder retracted, head looking forward, strong exhale. Load up the abs, keep moving.
5 and 5. Again, second side. You have strong and stronger, perhaps. Nothing is weak here. Well, you will probably have a preference. But as Lauren said earlier in the clean, it's not your arm doing the work. It is your hips. Build confidence in your core and strengthen your hips.
We have one more little routine here, and we'll follow it all up with 5 single arm, 5 cleans. Really only do it single arm, so clean the bell to the rack, through, load it up, repeat. Continuous meaning we're not putting that bell down. It's that swing that ends in the rack position. Still think of keeping those shins vertical. It's our hips going through. We don't want this forward
No slink.
fall.
That's darn right.
Slink.
Same thing here. So again, it's the hike pass, the kettlebells below the butt, above the knees, and then it's in that rack position out front. Lauren's priceless work of art is out front here, and the kettlebell will never touch it. It's tight to the body. 5 for them, which
I'm
means
like a
5 for
milkshake.
us.
My milkshake's so fresh and I don't want to spill it because I want to drink it after.
Milkshake sound good.
Slurpee. Had some of those in our rack. 5 cleans again, tight to the body. Remember, you know the rules, firm, but light grip is used. That was good?
I just caught you up front.
Don't get you up front.
Don't catch it up front. So lots of work on that bicep, tight to the body to make the hips and the core work instead. So again, Lauren's milkshake platters out front are made of that priceless work of art. And the bell is tight to the body throughout. Firm grip in this phase, and a re-grip in the rack phase.
Oh, all right, and you know what time it is.
So I do.
Do you?
It's about 4:45. But it also must mean it's get up time, Lauren.
Let's finish today's practice with 1 continuous get up on each side.
Okay.
I like the get ups to seal the deal of the practice, as it just pulls everything back together and gets us one more time underneath this kettlebell. So starting in your cuddle, roll to your back and press. 1 move at a time, leg is heavy, elbow. Leg is still heavy, hand. It's a bridge, back toes tuck sweep. Push the floor away, square up that lunge. Vectors, and then vectors pull you back down. Front foot, rotate, hinge, restack, then sweep. Elbow, lats engaged, both sides as you press away, and control to your back, cuddling to the floor. One thing you want to avoid to hold down is that slumpy, dumpy shoulder. So try to keep those shoulders. Don't be a turtle. Hold them down, show those ears. Last get up of the day here. Cuddle, roll, press. Heavy leg, heavy foot, elbow, hand. A bridge sweep. Pressing away, squaring up, standing up, stepping back, pulling down. Rotate, hinge, and stack. And then sweep to the elbow. Press away, lats, 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 lats. 2 hands. Cuddle. All right, last time, no white lie after this one. Last time for real. Up with no hands.
No hands.
Wow.
And we stand.
Thanks for joining us tonight on this recap episode as we recap the last 4-ish weeks, plus or minus.
Something like that. Time is flying by.
Of our swings, our cleans, and next week we'll continue on that, maybe putting it together in a little combo. So stay tuned.
Integrating that squat, perhaps, too.
Combos here of steel, not of burgers. Both are good though. Anyway, until next time, we'll see you Thursday for our bell
Thursday for
practice.
bar.
That's what I meant, bar. Where we work on our hips and our core, hip mobility, core strength, a little bit of grace in there.
And those single leg squats can benefit from that practice too. Saturday, we'll be back live at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with our bodyweight play with your strength class. A great way to start your Saturday morning, where we will work on our slink and perhaps even the handstand. So to our patrons, those members who receive a link letter, is that one of you? Great, thank you for joining. If not, send us an email. Get your name on that list and get live links to classes and little blog posts about health and wellness every.
You can also sign up via our website or our Patreon page. Please check out either and or both.
So even after a 45-minute practice here, I'm Ian, this is still Lauren. We still love our kettlebells and you participating along with us. So thank you very much for being here. Have a great night. Take care, stay strong, and let's train soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.